Hello everyone. If your English feels stuck, this routine will help you recover it. In just 30 to 45 minutes a day, you will listen, speak, read, and write in one complete loop. It's simple, repeatable, and it works because it combines input and output every single day. Let me walk you through it step by step. The idea behind this routine is that it integrates all four language skills instead of separating them. As shown here, you see speaking is represented by A, listening is represented by B, reading is represented by C, and finally writing is represented by D. Speaking and listening are integrated, which means they are connected. The same idea applies here. There are also four principles that I follow, which is my theory here. 1. Input must be followed by output, and they should be reasonably balanced. Otherwise, you will have some problems like you understand English but you cannot speak. And I've talked about this in one of my videos. 2. Feedback and correction are part of the process. Feedback alone is not enough. You have to get your hands dirty and start correcting your own mistakes. 3. You change weights, more minutes, more time, more tasks to a certain skill. In other words, more difficulty to the task. And this should be reasonable. How? Let's say you read a paragraph and you understood it 100%. You're not adding up to your knowledge. The better choice I would recommend is that you choose a paragraph that you only understand 70% out of it. The other 30% is going to be added to your knowledge. Let's say somebody goes to the gym every day and he's trying to lift 2 kilograms and it feels too easy for him. This will not really benefit him. Instead, when he takes 5 kilograms, it's not too difficult, but also it's not too easy. He's going to develop his strength and his muscle mass as well. 4. And the most important part is consistency. Remember we said routine. Short daily loops are more powerful than long, rare study sessions. This is the table I designed for the routine, so let's break it down. Here we have the task, the description of the task, the targeted skills, the material that you can use, and the estimated time for that task. Starting with audio, it says here you have to listen, write notes, summarize, and then speak. Choose a short audio, maybe 3 to 6 minutes. First, listen once without stopping. Try to take notes while you're listening. Then replay if necessary with pauses and take even more notes. You don't need to write sentences, just keywords. Finally, try to use your notes to speak a 60-second summary in your own words. Record yourself if you can because that's gonna help you for the feedback and correction. The targeted skills are B and A, which means listening and speaking. It is mainly listening, but you're trying to integrate it with speaking as well. The resources that you can use here is VOA, Voice of America, BBC 6-Minute English. This is a playlist, you can find it on YouTube. Audiobooks, but I don't really recommend it for beginners or intermediate learners. This is gonna be suitable for upper intermediate learners and advanced. Now move to your interests, because motivation is fuel. Make a list of at least 10 different topics you care about. You can also add some topics that you don't really like, because they're gonna be useful. Pick one topic, take one concept out of that topic. For example, if you talk about economics, don't explain it. Explain one of its concepts like inflation. Or if one of the topics is technology, talk about AI. You get the idea. Build some knowledge about them. Summarize the concept as a paragraph, and if you are an advanced learner, summarize the concept as an essay. Explain it as speaking and give your opinion about it. Giving your own opinion about it is really important because that reflects your understanding of the concept. This tip builds vocabulary, writing fluency, and speaking confidence, all at the same time. MR means material related. So if your source is a podcast, you're activating your listening. If your source is an article, you can activate your reading, and so on. The materials as listed here are podcasts, articles, explainers, YouTube videos, and so on. Next is reading fluency. Choose a graded reader, something simple, not too difficult. Read 3 to 5 pages a day. After that, answer 2 quick questions. What happened? What surprised you? Try to use reading skills as well, like skimming, scanning, visualizing, note-taking, and so on. Try to test your comprehension and try to develop your speed, where you read faster and understand more. The source that I'm recommending here is Penguin Readers because they've got really nice stuff. Now move into accuracy. This is where you fix mistakes and improve precision. Accuracy is where you speak and write correctly. The source that I recommend for grammar is English Grammar in Use. It's really cool because it is systematic. You have a page for explanation, another page for exercises. Really cool. Topic specific for practice. C. Don't jump from past simple into passive, then if conditionals. This is horrible. Start with tenses, finish them, go with conditionals, finish them, then go with models, and so on. And the source here, as I told you, is English Grammar in Use. You can use ChatGPT as your mentor. You start a conversation, a voice conversation, and you prompt it well. You can ask ChatGPT to act like a teacher to give you feedback at the end of your conversation. OR means one rule per 3 days. This is really flexible. You can modify it into 2 days, where the first day you'll learn about the rule, you take some exercises like fill in the blanks, matching, and the second day you start using it in your speaking and writing. Another part of accuracy is vocabulary. You can use flashcards and you will have to design your own phrasebook, aka phrase bank. You can design your own flashcards or download pre-made flashcards. The software that can be used here is Anki flashcards or Quizlet. You should relate your vocabulary bank to the subjects we've talked about previously. This activates A and D, which are speaking and writing. The sources here can vary because it depends on where you get your information from. But this is a way of organizing your notebook. Leveled lists like heading 1, heading 2, jotted phrases, this is random. I've mentioned here GPT and GPT here. You can use AI as an example, ChatGPT, the free version or the paid version. You can prompt it to act like a teacher and GPT gives you feedback for the practice you will have with it. Don't overwhelm yourself with a lot of words, just 5 to 10 words a day and try to put them in sentences so you know how to use them. Finally, strengthen your skills. If you have extra time, rotate quick activities. Write a diary line, listen to a radio, comment on an article, and read one more page. This is optional, but variety helps. Let's say, for example, your listening skill is weak. Add more tasks to it. The skill that you don't like is the skill that you need to develop. Not necessarily true for everyone, but it works most of the time. I say here the more the better, so the more time you give to a certain skill, the better it will become. So that was the full explanation for the ultimate English recovery routine. I hope you find it useful. I'll see you in the next one.